morning. So today I have Mike with us who knows the ins and outs of all the IT industry. So if you're a tech expert who wants to know about all the technology and what's going on, you might want to turn up the volume and listen to Mike. Let's welcome Mike on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where he will tell us about his experience working with a company filled with IT professionals and what he has learned so far. Hi Mike. How are you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Good, Mike. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Of
excited to be here.
course. So, Mike, can you tell us where you're currently working, what your role is with the company?
Yeah, so I actually own four different businesses.
Wow.
Um, the first one is, as you mentioned, IT services company. Second one is a cybersecurity service. Third one is a digital marketing agency, and then the fourth one is a coaching and consulting business.
Okay, so you must be really busy then.
Well, actually, in the coaching and consulting business, I teach them all the things that I've learned in my other businesses. So, to keep this short, the other businesses, I have learned how to make them run without me for the most part, right? I work less than 10 hours a week in the other businesses, probably far less, and focus more on the coaching and consulting side.
Okay, so if anyone wants to learn how to be efficient, I think you might be the person to come to, considering you run four businesses and you work less than 10 hours, which is quite impressive. So why four businesses, Mike? As in, like, was one business not enough that you wanted to start three more?
Well, it was more of a need and necessity. So all of our businesses were started to uh, uh, as a solution to our customers' problems. And there's a whole bunch of backstory and other things involved in that, but to keep it succinct, um, the the IT business came first, and then the cybersecurity business, and the marketing, and then the agent or the coaching.
Okay, and how, like you mentioned that you've put these businesses in a situation where they can run without you, but how do you make sure that the businesses run smoothly? Because at the end of the day, you want your business to be successful. So how do you ensure that how it succeeds without you being there every day or like not looking into it as much?
Yeah. So we have good leadership teams in place. We have people tied to numbers and metrics, and they're responsible for certain line items on the P&L, and those are kind of their areas. And then we just make sure that they're meeting their metrics. To keep
Okay,
it super
that makes
short.
sense. That makes sense. I think it's very important to always have goals and KPIs in mind just
Uh-huh.
because you don't want to go into something without knowing that you're making progress.
Right.
So I can definitely see that. So, Mike, I'd love to hear regarding whether any of your businesses, whether they're hiring, what kind of people are open, because all of them seem like tech companies. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of tech roles open. But what kind of people are you wanting to join your company? Because I think organizational culture these days is something that's very important, especially because many companies are remote. So you want people to have certain characteristics for them to be able to work well in a remote environment.
So yeah, actually, we're not currently hiring for our own businesses. However, um, through the through all of the different businesses which I'm connected, we work with a lot of clients that are frequently looking for additional help in areas to do with tech, but also really a broad range of areas, but especially around marketing, social media, virtual assistant, um, um, operational stuff, video editors, all of those types of roles.
Okay, so a variety of roles are
Yeah.
open. And just curious regarding how did the pandemic affect any of your businesses? How was the transition like?
So the pandemic's effect on our business, we had some clients that left some of the companies, but generally they were growing, doing well. Especially during that time, there's a big need for IT, right? And then also a lot of businesses over the past year, like it's been a trend for a long time, but especially in the past year, a lot of new businesses have been created. A lot of people are coming online. So that's an area we've seen growth as well.
Okay. And just I wondered regarding as in like considering you've started four businesses, which is a big deal. What is some advice that you have for people who want to start their own business but don't, or as in like you mentioned that it came out of consumers' need, but how do you take that first step towards starting your business? Because I think the first step is usually the hardest.
Um, in a nutshell, solve a problem. A little bit longer version of that is um, find who you really enjoy working with and who you really enjoy solving problems for first. Like, what type of people do you like to work with, right? Is it business owners? Is it single stay-at-home moms? Is it podcasters? Who is it, right? Then find out what their problem is. How do you find out what their, or what's a problem they're trying to solve? How do you find that out? Having conversations, creating genuine connection, and having conversations, seeking to just help, provide help, and then once you know what problem they need solved, then figure out a way to solve it, and then figure out how to monetize that. That's as
Okay.
succinct as I can probably put it, but
I think you did a good job in putting it as succinct as you could. But I'm just curious, as in like you mentioned that having genuine conversations, usually as in like if you go on the street and you ask someone, oh, what is something that you want? People won't be direct regarding it. So how do you make sure that you have that open conversation which will help you realize that okay, there might be a need in the market for this certain thing?
um, really get first of all, again, start with getting crystal clear on who you want to serve. Um, the best place to go find these people, though, is Facebook, frankly, and Facebook groups. There's a lot of people congregated there. You can find your ideal customer in specific niche-based groups. Go find them, start reaching out. Don't spam them. Just seek to develop a genuine relationship.
Okay. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mike. Well, Mike, we like to keep things short. You did a really good job because you were worried that, oh, okay, it might be hard to keep things short, but you managed to do it within the time. So thank you so much for sharing about your four businesses, the advice that you have for job seekers out there, and how to solve a problem when you really do want to start your own business. It was an absolute pleasure, Mike, and I hope you have a great rest
Oh,
of
the
your day.
pleasure was mine. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.